want to show you how to take like a written recipe or any kind of written note or something and turn it into an SVG file so that you can use it for engraving, such as like a family recipe onto a cutting board, or some kind of a trivet or something like that. So what I've done here is I've just scanned in the recipe, and I'll make it larger so you can see. Alright, so I've got my scanned in recipe, and as you can see there's a lot, it's on lined paper, and there's like some stains and stuff, and some smudges, things like that, just from being used so many times. So we're going to have to clean that up after we turn it into an SVG file. So Inkscape is a free software online, and it is a great tool for making SVG files and for, changing up your art, designing things. It's a great free program. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take, right now I have, this is a PDF file. And you can do PDF, you can do JPEG, anything like that. So what we're going to do is we've imported. We're going to go over to File and go down to Import, and then we can choose the file that we want to import. So I've imported this PDF, and now we're going to take this PDF and turn it into an SVG file. So we're going to go up here to Path, and then we're going to go down 3 to Trace Bitmap, and then this window will pop up. And it kind of gives you a preview of what's happening here. And as you can see, this preview, get you a little bit closer. This preview, the top half of this recipe is very faint. You can't hardly read it. It's not going to work. So right here where it says brightness threshold, we're going to bump that up and to, let's try 55. And then we're going to hit this update. And you can see it made it a little bit more easy to read, and it added a little bit more information. That's still not quite enough to be legible, so we're going to bump it up just a little bit more. I'm going to go up to maybe 65, and this is all going to depend on the how dark the ink is on your recipe, how good of quality the scan is, etc. So you'll just have to play with it. You'll need different settings for different recipes and files. So just be aware of that. Just because I have it on 60.65 does not mean that yours will work with that. You just kind of have to keep playing with it until you get what you need. So here, if you saw, I bumped it up to 7.70, and you see all of the little line details start to pop up. I'm going to try keeping it there because I'm trying not to get all of these little lines that were in the paper. I don't want to engrave a bunch of lines and like the holes for the notebook paper, etc. So I'm just going to bump this up enough to where those start to show up, and then I'm going to click OK. And what it does is creates this darker image over the top. So we're going to drag this out of the way. So this is the original, and this right here is your SVG file. Do you see how right in this area you can see that outline, that paper outline behind the recipe? That shows you that that background is gone, and you've got an SVG file now. So I'm looking at this and it all looks pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and take this and I'm going to hit delete and get it out of my way. I'm also going to close that box. Now, I'm going to shrink this back down for just a second so I can show you guys what I'm doing here. And I am using the center wheel of my mouse to click, and that kind of zooms in for me. So you can see we've got all of the handwriting and everything, but then we've got a couple of little lines here and a little bit of, the outline of the paper and stuff. So what we're going to do to get rid of that, this also works if it turns any kind of stain marks or any kind of marks on it that you don't want there. It'll turn those images into an SVG too. So what you're going to have to do is go up here to the Edit Paths by Nodes button. It's the second button down. And now you can see all the little buttons and all the little nodes. See all the little points that create these lines. So I'm going to scroll down here. So you can see the line is right here. This was a little bit of the notebook paper line. So once you've clicked that and you click on the image, you'll have all these little dots. So you're going to hold your left button, mouse button down, and you're going to click and drag, and that selects those particular nodes. So then you're going to hit backspace, and that deletes that little section there. So I've got a couple of random little pieces here. I'm going to do the same thing, click and drag, and backspace. Now you've got to do that for your entire piece. So you're just going to keep doing that until you're happy with how it looks, and you'll have a very nice clean line recipe. I'm going to select a whole bunch of these at once. We're going to hit delete. As you can see, you just got to keep working at it, and you will get it all taken care of, and it'll look really nice once you're done. So just keep working at it until you are happy with it. Now sometimes the SVG will create some kind of crazy lettering. Or maybe the lettering isn't super legible because it was done in pencil and it's super faint. So what you can do, I'm going to go in right here and show you how that kind of looks. Now this is kind of like an over stylized version of the texture of the ink that was on the page. So what we're going to do is go in here and see, it's kind of hard to read what that says. So we're going to go in here, we're going to click on it again. We're going to get rid of just the nodes that are causing us an issue. And I'll go back in here. This is supposed to be, this word is powdered. So we're going to click on that. We're going to get rid of that. And if you need something to be a little taller, so like this is a D, just kind of, you can kind of stretch those nodes out just enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. By the time it's really small, you're not going to see a lot of that. So we're just going to clean up just a little bit. We don't want to change it too much, especially if you're trying to keep the integrity of someone's handwriting. Perhaps it was a family memento. But you just want to clean it up just enough so that it's legible, because the program kind of likes to kind of take things away and add things that weren't there. So you just kind of have to drag it just a little bit just to give it enough obvious, you know, enough shape to make it what you need or what it was supposed to be. But anyway, you can see you just kind of go through and pick out the spots that are the most rough or the worst because of the program or because of the handwriting, or maybe it was a really old document, something like that. So just be in mind, that's how you can go in and kind of fix problem areas. It's literally just a matter of dragging a line or dragging a node to like fill in areas that are missing, etc. And then you know, once you like pan back out, that one little spot is so tiny that it's not a huge difference, but it does help it to be more legible if you're trying to put it on something, you know, as a gift. So once you have, you know, everything done that you want to have done, then you just save that piece. Then you can just save as and save your project. I'm not going to save this one because I've already got it saved. So once you have that, then you have your file that is ready to be engraved, ready to be sent to your Glowforge or your laser cutter, whatever you have, and ready to be engraved on your cutting board. Okay, so because this, I'm doing a pizza peel, which is about 22 inches, and I picked it up on Amazon. I'll show you a picture of what that looks like. And because it is so long, it wouldn't, and so wide, it won't fit on top of the crumb tray. So I had to take the crumb tray out of the Glowforge, add a board to lift it up so that the top of the pizza peel is just above the height of the crumb tray, and then it fits in pretty nicely underneath everything. Okay, once you have your pizza peel in there, the Glowforge will then rescan it and show you an image of the pizza peel. So then you can upload your design, your SVG file that you created, and then you can move it around on your board as it's shown on the bed and decide where you want it to be placed. Now your settings for a bamboo cutting board or pizza peel is speed 1000, precision power 85, lines per inch 340, and autofocus. And that seems to do a very good job, a nice deep engrave. And then you hit your, go ahead and select ready, and it'll give you how much time. Time is 1 hour and 21 minutes for what I had. Engraving does take a little bit more time. So here we just got it in the Glowforge. We hit that magic button, and now it's just doing its engraving thing. Okay, so this is sped up to about 4 times its speed so that you can see it engraving and it's not just taking forever. But if you are interested in getting a Glowforge, there is a link down below in the description box where you can get up to $500 off your purchase of a Glowforge, and it gives me a little something back so that I can keep creating with my Glowforge and keep bringing you videos showing you kind of how-to and inspiration videos. So I appreciate your support on that. There are also other links to different companies to get discounts for subscription boxes, etc. Please check those out as well. Okay, this is all done, and we're ready to pull this out of the Glowforge. Because it is oversized, you want to be very careful with how you pull it out. You don't want to hit your laser head. You don't want to hit anything that you could get off track or anything like that. So as you can see, the engraving at this setting on bamboo works very well. It's a very nice, crisp, kind of semi-deep engraving, and it will last a long time. It's not something that will just immediately rinse off your board. So this is a easy way to customize a carving board or anything like that, a gift for a family member. This could also work for coasters, etc. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.